Previously on Fort Fritz.
Hi.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Robo Angela. Bring out the oracles. Bring them out. Bring out the oracles.
Oh my God!
It's just disturbing to see floating us's.
They're awake now, it seems.
Bubble tank man, daddy. We're not even under the ocean or anything. We're just under sludge. But if there's no water, what does that mean for mankind?
The time machine that brought you here experienced a weird power surge that must have jolted and accidentally warped you here to my year. We need more power. And there's only one way we're gonna get more power. Hi, you're listening to Fort Fritz. Aren't you lucky? I'm Robo Angela. As you can tell, right over there we got the host, Fritz.
Hi?
Over there we got co-host Mandaddy.
Hi.
Over there we got Kaz.
So salty and, dismissive.
And then the non-Robo Angela.
Oh, thanks.
That's a weird qualifier.
Vastly
Just be
inferior
regular.
to a Robo Angela, of course.
You could just be the regular Angela.
So here's the deal. These guys are trapped inside an escape pod. We're gonna shoot them right into the disgusting, toxic ocean of the future. And then they're gonna go, I don't know, do something to save themselves or the world or some crap, I don't care. So I hope you guys are strapped in, because I'm about to shoot you fuckers into the ocean of doom.
Is that what we're doing in this
I don't
thing?
really like this at all.
This is a pod. It's definitely a pod of some sort.
Yeah, are we escaping or
It's
something?
beeping and booping.
All the beeping and booping, you know it.
This doesn't look safe. It's like Apollo 1 getting shot up into the upper atmosphere. For the
You
first
wish
time.
it was
I'm
as
gonna-
safe as Apollo 1.
Oh, God.
Wow.
That's a nightmare scenario.
I think so.
All right, strap in, kids.
Wait, hold on.
5,
Wait.
4.
What do we? This is not good. Do we do protocol
I guess,
or is
hold
it
on.
Everyone,
to your
Oh my God.
each other?
be good with God.
Oh, man!
Oh my God. Okay. Well, we're kind of bobbing around now.
Oh, this is relaxing.
We need to get shot at. Look back there. You can see it. That's where the sea is.
Oh, okay.
It looks like the fort, but underwater.
Oh, look at it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a beautiful submerged oasis of
Purple swirly horror.
sludge.
Yeah, a lot of really viscous sort of
Toxic.
fluids. Yeah, a lot
What
of
the fuck is that
oil
thing coming
pools
right at
and-
us? What is that?
Oh,
That's like an eel or
congealed.
something?
That's
It
congealed.
was an eel, but it had a sheep's face.
That's
know.
made of plastic. That's
What
not
the
right.
fuck? Even
Everything's made of
Fuck,
plastic.
it
This is not.
congealed.
This is disgusting.
Oh, I like it.
What the fuck? Even ugh.
I was terrified. I wasn't into puns, but I was terrified for my life.
You should catch it.
Okay, listen. I do know a little bit about this, and I don't know why, but I was emailed. It was a very secure IP, but it happened to get here. Maybe there's a satellite still working, but I will say this: we have to electrocute the entire ocean.
What?
I think.
Can you do that?
I don't know. Wait.
The entire ocean.
All of it?
Came with a
Makes sense.
decoder code. Wait, hold on. It came with a decoder ring. Hold on. Just let me.
How'd you get a
Like,
decoder ring? There's
that's
mail
tight.
here too?
Yes.
Damn.
It
They
was
probably
an
just
email.
made it in a 3D printer.
Just give me one moment, okay? Just let me.
All this stuff is still compatible
This is a-
like 200 years later?
Yeah, I will.
It's a
USB?
very complex code, okay? Just let me
It's
go
all
through
Android
it.
now.
There we go. Yeah, we have to electrocute the ocean.
Electrocute
I
the
don't.
ocean, yeah. Shit.
Huh.
Well,
There's no other way to put that. That's,
That's-
ocean,
yeah,
electrified,
because-
boom, there you go.
and we have to harness Red Blue's space elevator power reserve
Oh.
to
Does that-
How?
Yeah.
electrify the ocean. Again,
How
I
are we
don't.
going
I
to do
don't.
that?
So
That's three
the
times
Red
now.
Blue Corporation that controls everything here in the future that has created a giant space elevator, and now somehow we have to get to the space elevator, use its power generators to electrify the entire ocean, and somehow that's going to get us back to our timeline.
It says electrify murky deep
That's where we are.
Okay.
ocean.
That's the
Yeah, okay.
It keeps. Yeah. I'm sorry,
I
guys.
feel like there's some steps that are missed there.
At least the ones at the end.
like the
right?
thing
We
from South
electrify the
Park,
ocean
Prophet.
and then.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you? It just says electrify ocean.
It's true. I
mean,
see that. No, we're not in
No,
dispute.
no, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
see it.
I'm not saying
Shit,
I'm
it
not
just
down
sounds
with
rad.
it.
If
We
we're
should
gonna
totally
die-
do it. Yeah, that says
I just want
electrify
an
the ocean.
explanation.
What else are we
what
going
does
to
this say to
do?
you?
Right.
We're in a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, I
little
see
weird
it.
escape
It's right
pod.
there.
Electrify ocean.
Yeah, electrify ocean.
Kaz, do you believe us?
I
or-
see it. I mean, I see it.
Get the thing on my face, actually.
Robo Angela, you got any ideas? What do we do? Does this thing have like grabber arms on it or something? Can we missiles or what?
We have
Ordnance?
missiles? Do we have grabber arms?
Do we have grabber arms? Robo Angela, come in on the comms.
Well, I we shoot missiles, that sounds like it'd be pretty.
It seems like it would
efficient.
help
It'd be
out.
pretty efficient now. And grabber arms. That is a great idea, and that would really, really help your mission. And
Yeah.
so we really should have put that on there, but we didn't.
So what do we have?
You're a pod,
Uh-huh.
and you can go up,
Okay.
Okay.
you can go down,
All right.
you can go forward.
What about left?
No. You got up, you got down,
Okay.
you got forward. And that's about it. There's not a damn thing I
So
can
do
do
we
about
just
that.
run
So,
this into the space elevator?
I
Or?
shot you towards the elevator. Go forward, and then go down. Get the power, and then go up. And I can't help you out because you can't go back. So hopefully that'll fix your whole problem. I don't see how it could, but
It's the world's worst
you're
mechanic.
stuck out there because you can't go back. I'm so glad I didn't put a reverse on that. That was a good idea.
It seems like a problem.
Okay.
Not for me, I'm fine.
Very shoddy. Oh
No,
my God.
not perfect for me. I'm doing great.
Haphazard sort of planning.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to be safe.
Well, we can just run the pod.
Shut up, Robo.
We just right, like turn her off. Enough
Okay.
out of her.
Well, hold on.
Comms off. Robo Angela.
I like her sass.
She's pretty sassy. She's a
She's
sassy
very
broad.
sassy.
Got some zazz.
I enjoy
She's
that.
a sassy.
Spicy. Well, I mean, she said go forward and go down, so I guess we have to get to the base of the space elevator,
Oh, yeah,
which I guess
yeah.
is at the bottom of the ocean. That's how we can electrify.
Stupid idea.
All right, I'm sorry. Okay, hold on.
No.
Hold on. All right, there. That's it.
We
Okay.
can't
I still don't mind her. I
plan
still don't mind her.
while
us.
she's shrilly just sort of berating us.
Well, maybe we deserved it. I mean, we are in a pod stuck in a vile, viscous, horrible ocean, so we are
No
worthy of
fault of our
derision.
own.
So I guess
pretty
if we get to the bottom of the space elevator, if we find anything down there,
So let's go down.
Let's go down and
we'll
see what we
what's
find.
at the
Okay.
floor,
You know.
the base of what is
Fritz,
this?
you have the comm.
Yep. Step right up. Step right up. Here we
Why
go.
are you
Ready?
doing that? That's not a good idea. You're supposed to press the buttons. Don't smack
Here
them
we
with
go.
your cane.
Going down. Aerosmith reference. Loving it. Loving an elevator.
This is even more
1989
disgusting than I could imagine.
And we are here.
This is
Such a
horribly
terrible
disgusting.
Now this is just the secondary level from ground floor.
What is this called? What is this called? The
Various
shelf?
tread?
Continental shelf?
The Continental Shelf. Oh, good call.
Sure. Yeah.
Someone was paying attention during science class. Wasn't me.
So what do we got?
This sucks.
Just sand. Just
Yep,
lots of sand.
just a lot of sand.
Going on
Okay, going further.
and
Up.
stop.
It's just pretty mucky. I think we're kind of getting to like dinosaur bones and remains.
Oh,
here.
That's
so
pretty
shitty.
cool, but doesn't help us.
So we're
No.
Can we electrify
Going
those?
down. Going down.
Okay.
Fuck. Wait. Should I go back up?
No,
No,
keep going
keep
down.
going down.
Just
Why
keep
not?
going
Just
down.
keep
No,
going down.
where else, honestly, do we
All right.
Why
I'm
would you
going
go to
down.
the
I'm going
bottom
down.
of
I'm
the
going
ocean?
down.
Jellyfish.
Nothing else to
Jellyfish.
do.
Man, this is a long. This is a.
I mean, it's
Okay.
the fucking ocean. Yeah, this is deep, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
we're
pretty
going
deep,
down.
but look over there. Look over there. Look over there.
What is that?
Wait.
I don't know. It looks like...
Oh,
Can we go forward? Go forward.
Yeah, go
I can go forward, yeah. That was one of the options.
one direction we can go in. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like some sort of structure, some sort of... I don't know,
Oh my
like almost like a
Ooh.
underwater temple or
Temple.
something like that.
Well, it's got those like archways. Those are cool.
That's I don't know. This might not be a great idea.
Do you guys understand what this means? We've just stumbled upon a maybe prehistoric monolithic civilization. This is
You know what's
incredible.
awesome about that whole thing too is that there is no one who's going to give a shit in the year 2218 because everyone's just trying to get water and they don't care about underwater civilizations now. So we're fucked.
Because we're not even underwater, under muck or under slime,
water.
and, muck water.
One
Yeah.
man's muck.
Makes gravy water look like
Makes
thin
another
and
man's
light.
gravy.
Another man's
kinda
gravy.
wanna- I
we
wanna-
open for this, guys. I don't know. This reminds me of something. Have you guys ever heard of the Yonaguni Underwater Monument?
No.
How do you
Obviously
spell it?
not. No.
Yonaguni. Just say it. Yonaguni.
Yonaguni.
Yonaguni. It's spelled Yonaguni.
Immediately, I was off.
Yonaguni. So what this is, it's kind of interesting. By kinda, I mean slightly. Now, apparently, off the coast of some islands in the lower Japan archipelago, known as Yonaguni, about 1986, a diver found what appears to be a very large underwater structure that some think may be man-made. And it's underwater, and it's from, there's a debate on how old it is. Some say 2,000 to 3,000 years, some say up to 10 to 15,000 years old.
Wow, 2 to 5,000. You said
2 to 6.
2 to 6. Jesus Christ, that's a That's a wide
It's a big wide berth. Yeah, it's a wide berth. Yeah, they kept it kind of open. But the thinking is that if the older it is, the more possibility that it was above water when it was constructed.
Sure.
And there's a lot of different things about that just appear. I mean, there's a lot of right angles. There is a lot of right angles in this, which right there, when you think about something that's underwater for 1,000 years, you think, well, that's going to get eroded or it's going to be soft angles. It's a lot of right angles. And within it, there's two closely spaced pillars that rise to within 8 feet of the surface. There's a 16-foot wide ledge that encircles the base of the formation on 3 sides, a stone column that's 23 feet tall, a straight wall. There's a road going around it. Some say there's a part that looks like almost a stadium. There's a pool. It just really...
Stadium?
Yeah, that's a small stadium. I think they're very tiny people. People in the past were much smaller. You know that.
That makes
the further
sense.
you go back, the shorter they get.
Yeah.
You know.
Where is this again?
Jesus was 2'8". Most people don't know that Jesus was actually 2'8".
Spry as hell, though. He had a pack of abs on him.
Yeah, he did.
You wouldn't believe.
Like a wild boar.
He had a 4-pack.
What?
Like a wild. Jesus was a wild boar. Was like a wild boar by Fritz.
Small, but he'll fuck you up.
Yeah,
Come here, you little
You don't want
bag.
to get in the corner. You don't want to corner Jesus. You don't want to corner Jesus. He'll come at you all fists and elbows.
Gnashing teeth and razor blades.
Snarling.
beards and
Fingernails.
I mean, he's a creature of love until you get him in the corner, man. People don't know that about him.
He'll turn the other cheek until he's in the corner. There's
Then
nowhere to
you can't
turn.
turn. There's nowhere to turn when you're in a corner. You turn, you're just at
You
another
can't
cheek.
you can't put Jesus in that corner.
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't put baby in a corner or
Yeah,
Jesus.
or Jesus.
Yeah, that's two
Jesus
things
will
you'll put in.
snap.
And that's why you get baby Jesus, you put him in the corner, you're
It's
fucking
over.
doomed. It's over for everybody. You put baby Jesus corner, it just comes ripping out like a tornado.
It's not a good idea.
What in the fuck is happening?
Magic, my friend,
Yep.
magic. And also there's a lot of what appears to be writing, and once again you have
Writing?
there appears to be that says it looks like the Kadia script, which is a writing system that was used in that area thousands of years ago on those islands in Japan, and say that there's also an etching that looks like a horse-like creature and other animals, and then other scientists go, that's just scribble from snails, that's nothing. And so it's either a really interesting possible ancient civilization that was either an underwater civilization or that was on the surface one day, and then there was in the year like 1717 or something like that, there was a tsunami that hit that area that they say could have had a storm surge of up to 100 feet. So, it's just a big ass, because it is in an area that has a lot of seismic activity. And so scientists say that because of seismic activity, it makes things split and crack like shale into right angles, and that's why you see. But if you look at it, it looks like steps. It looks like carved out perfect steps. It doesn't look like something that just happened accidentally.
Erosion of the sea currents or whatever.
Going back to the Arizona area of the United States, that Colorado River groove that begins and then
So funky.
ends up being the Grand Canyon.
Right.
Water is the most destructive element or
Water and
compound.
time.
There would be almost no.
That looks man-made as fuck.
Yes, that does. But I mean, I don't know if that's
Oh.
that's a
Yeah,
doctor
Yeah,
photograph
that's-
or
The
whatever.
minute you look at it, you're like, yeah, no, that
Definitely.
people did that. The minute you see it, you're just like immediately people.
It
But
looks almost Mayan or Aztec, right? Like very
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah.
Ziggurat
square, way bigger. And then again, you're just in the middle of what looks to be nothingness. So it's just that, and then
Well, actually, there's a ton of hammerhead sharks. That area is famous
well.
for having huge swarms
Well,
of
they were
hammerhead
obviously
sharks.
chiseling away.
They're
Nice.
The sides of their
That's
heads.
it. They're just
Damn it.
hammering away. We
The
figured it
fucking
out.
mystery
Angela
solved.
figured it
Angela.
out. There it is.
Hammerhead
Well done.
Church, like,
points.
How else did they learn to hammer?
Make my stadium where no one will
Big
play.
shark stadium. They just had
That
shark
honestly sounds
fights.
cool. Shark ball or whatever. Like
Shark ball.
shark ball sounds cool as shit.
Shark Ball Z.
Is it a
Shark
sport
ball.
with humans and a shark, or is it just a sport
Just
that sharks play?
Sharks playing against other sharks for sharks, but a ball involved. So
Is there like a
about
person?
sharks.
There's
About
just
sharks.
spectating sharks playing against each other, and then there's a ball. Maybe the person is
There's a person inside the ball.
has to swim away from them. That's
The
like
person's
whole
in the ball, like a geosphere that they smack around, and if they break open the ball, they
get to eat
the
the
guy.
person?
Yeah, whatever team
Damn.
wins eats the guy.
thing. Visceral.
The overall vision of the show: to break down public stereotypes about Shark Ball. Shark Ball is open to everyone.
30
The sharks
for
are
30.
like, yeah,
Shark ball.
take our word for it.
Come on down, play some shark ball with us. Don't.
This is
Humans are
just a
like-
way for sharks to think that we're, just to get us
Don't
in.
listen to the
This
sharks.
is like a Ponzi
Yeah.
scheme for sharks,
Like,
getting,
look at this
come
cool
on,
stadium we constructed for
Oh,
you
it's
guys.
a lot
Like,
of fun,
we're cool.
guys.
We have culture now.
I refuse to accept that reality.
So yeah, no, that looks real.
Yeah, when you look at pictures,
creative.
it just looks freaking man-made, and
I refuse
also
to
it's not separate blocks. It's all from the living strata that is there. So it's not like blocks were brought in to make a temple. It's actually carved out of what is there.
It is fascinating. So, like, one theory behind the Sphinx was it carved down or produced up? Because that surrounding area is like it's kind of in the middle of a temple, and that's usually left out of that photograph.
I'm gonna go with up. Up seems easier. You build scaffolds.
You think
go
it's easier?
up to go up to you've done it. Like if you mess up at the top, then you fuck the whole thing, right? Like at the bottom, you can kind of like fudge it over and then do better at the top. Like if you fuck the top, like
Answer me
that's the
this.
best part. That's where the head is and shit.
It's easier to dig down than build up, right?
It depends on the method of which you're building something.
If there's a big stone in the middle of nowhere, and then they want you to carve something into it,
I feel like you
start
start
at the bottom. You start
I
at the
feel
top.
like you start at the top.
How do you
But-
wait, so what are we rigging a whole thing to get up to the top of this and then carving and going down?
Yeah.
Maybe that's how it works. You know what?
Well, the
You've convinced me.
The stone. You win.
Now I'm not buying it. I think it's built up.
No, but the stones from the pyramid are actually not that sort of material.
true.
Isn't for hundreds of miles away.
It's true.
And so that's why the questions about how they made it, because there's
But the
that
Sphinx
sort of
was
limestone.
there, right? I thought the Sphinx they brought into the Sphinx was the same thing.
I don't know because I don't think that there are individual blocks in the Sphinx, but there are in the pyramid.
Yeah.
So one of the most ancient hieroglyphics shows someone throwing water before this procession, where this entire block of land is being moved. And
Maybe they
for
floated it.
millennia, people thought that it was just some kind of like symbolic religious move. No, when you throw water onto dirt, you can slide across it easier.
So that's how they were
Reduces friction.
Yep.
making
So
like
they
a
would
weird
slushiness.
slushiness.
throw water, and then everyone would just go hup, and it would actually move a lot.
Jesus
they would
Christ.
throw water, and then they
But
would
still
move.
think about how
Exactly.
many blocks they were, how
Exactly.
large they were,
But-
and how many human lives it took.
But how did they build it up? Did they start at the top and then remove sand?
It just speaks
Because
to
that could have happened too, right?
speaks to groupthink.
That seems way more difficult for some reason. That's terraforming
Yeah.
versus building.
Well, I don't know.
You know,
I wouldn't,
you hear a lot of people building shit. You'll hear a lot of terraforming going on.
I would have to been eaten by jackals or whatever the punishment was for not fucking pulling the block, because it just like at no point am I going to look at that situation and be like, all right, I'm in for the next 50 years or whatever. I'll pull the
It's
block.
true. When you think about it,
Fuck
it's like,
that, dude.
well,
Like, no,
you know,
I'll just
you're
kill
living
me.
in squalor.
I'm
You're
gonna
eating
run.
rat feces. You're having to
And
you
your whole
wreck your
life
body
is
every
the
day.
block.
Just kill me.
Wake up to the block.
So,
For
Angela,
50 years, you're pulling the block.
would a special civilization would they try to would they look ahead and try to exist underwater, or would they try to build that last fortress on dry land? In your own opinion, I mean, you've been around probably longer than all of us combined.
True.
I mean, I feel like living underwater is kind of everyone's curiosity,
Sure. Yeah.
but is it really the best thing? Probably not.
Not with what we're doing to the oceans.
Yeah, no. I feel like you would want it on land. I feel like that's the best option. I feel like that's where we live. So, unless we
people.
adapt with gills like Kevin Costner in Waterworld,
Brilliant film.
I don't think that living underwater is a good idea.
Well, and also if you're Jason Momoa. So the fact of the matter is, right into it. Right fucking into it.
Fucking pro, ladies and gentlemen. So the fact of the matter is,
So the fact of the matter is, we have the Yonaguni Monument. It's underwater, outside of Japan. It is either an underwater civilization from thousands of years ago,
We are
or
so off base right now. Though.
it's just like a reef. It's just like
it's
a
like
reef.
a,
It's
like
probably
a really
it's
ornate,
just a reef.
right-angle-y, steppy reef
It's
that looks
just
like a
a-
Mayan
yeah.
pyramid.
This does not look like that.
So
though.
this,
One
this
thing-
looks different.
what else
this,
looks like that?
It
This
looks
looks
like
like an
steps.
actual. This looks like something that's carved.
There's
Just-
definitely
looks like some-
seats in that stadium down there. Shark, like size seats. You could definitely fit like a normal size shark in there for sure.
Definitely.
There's
This looks
monuments.
Even your huskier sharks, I think, could fit.
Yeah, they probably would be if they're going
Would
to
they
spectate.
sit?
Shark ball.
Would they
Like
sit?
Jabberjaw, the shark from
Yeah,
the 70s.
Jabberjaw. Exactly how
Jabberjaw.
Jabberjaw stands.
He
And they
said-
just like lie down, like on their bellies?
A bunch of the, like, just spaces for them to lie
Yeah.
down flat.
That'd
makes
be
more
really
sense.
bad ergonomics for the stadium itself.
Why?
you know?
That makes sense, actually. That makes way more
Well,
sense.
it'd
How
have to be slanted, so if they're laying, so they're looking like this, because otherwise if they're laying, there's going to be... Like,
exactly.
You have someone's tail in your
normal
face all the
stadiums
time.
are, like, angled so that people
But then
can
they'd slide
down.
off. They'd have to have like some sort
They're
of
in the water.
They're okay.
And they also have the rough shark skin, and we can have, like, a mat
just
down.
grips. It just grips.
Like the top of like a skateboard deck, like it's
Or
like
there's
a
little
non-skate.
knobs like right by their pectoral fins. That
So
kinda
they just hold them in.
Yeah.
They can like kind of almost like a roller
Or,
coaster.
but if they're
you
hammerhead
just-
sharks, they can
Okay,
just have
so-
a post and they just rest their face against, and their eyes are on either side, so they're fine. There's a bop, they go
Like
right
a
there.
hitching post.
Yeah, they just slap their face around that. Their eyes are on either side of it, so they're fine. Yeah, this is
That's
not
a
good now.
rumbling
This is
Ooh.
See that shit? It's splitting open over there. What is that?
Okay, wait, hold on,
So
wait,
either
we
coming
have-
out of that,
wait.
we're going to have to go into it. That's
Guys,
not good.
we are having a little bit
What
of...
the
Okay,
fuck?
Ooh.
trying to
Robo
maintain
Angela, come in.
equilibrium in this vessel.
Turn
okay,
her back
got
on.
it.
Robo Angela.
This is not good.
Never mind. Turn her back off. She's unsupported.
Terrible. Terrible.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I knew. See, I said
Why
there's
did
something
that come
bad.
back
Even
on?
though I knew the other thing was a reef,
What
this thing's
is
not a
this?
reef.
It's not
like
stopping. I'm
opening.
fucking
It's
scared,
just opening.
man.
It's coming. Oh, this
It's booping.
is
Bopping.
done. It's burbling.
It's booping bop.
It's burbling.
Oh,
It's-
it's
I don't
doing
wanna-
so many things.
It looks like it's
I don't want to die with
bopping.
like no commercial break under our belt.
Well, we got to get out of here. Okay, we're gonna take a really quick break and figure out what the hell is going on in front of us, and hopefully we won't die. Thanks for just hanging out, and we'll be right back. We're all gonna die. This is Fort Fritz.
This is C. I told you this whole shit was fucked up. We're down here.
It's
Look
alright.
at that thing is splitting open. It's gonna come.
Doesn't
Whatever's
matter.
it's
really doesn't
earthquake,
look
but it
good.
doesn't matter.
Look at it.
Horrible.
What is
It's
that?
Horrifying earthquake sound surrounds us. Now there's what is that?
Roy just talked about giant tsunamis, and there's something coming out of the thing. With
But
What is
we're
that?
underwater.
Roaring? It's roaring at us.
What is that?
We're
What?
underwater. It's fine.
It looks like a giant fish, or nope, that's a shark.
That's
That
a
has
shark. That's a
That's a
big
big
ass.
thing.
That's a megalodon
shark.
size mofo right
It's
there.
fine.
That's bigger than the Meg. It's like Meg's sister.
So gross looking.
Sally?
Sally? That's not scary. The Sally. No, I guess that doesn't work. We'll stick with
Okay,
the Meg.
no.
It's a
Rachel?
Meg. It's a Meg. It's a
That
Meg.
thing looks
That's a
awful.
big ass shark, and we're in a little tiny bubble.
I don't.
It's
what
got
are we gonna do?
tattoos. No, I don't like
He's
it.
thugged out.
No, I don't like
Kind
it.
of.
I don't like
Traps.
Looks very rough.
Does a shark have like a tattoo of like a douche on
it.
its
It did
on its
now. I
arm?
don't know. I don't know.
Like a tribal, like bro, like a tribal, like Miami Dolphins fan.
Like, do you even lift, bro? Sort of thing.
So, no. Oh my God, no.
Oh
This
my God.
shark is just.
No, look, it keeps hitting.
It's roaring at. It's coming right at us. It's coming right at us.
This is not
It's
good.
roaring directly.
Oh god.
Can we go? We can't go left or right. We got to go down or up.
Go down. What was that? Oh no!
Jesus Christ!
Great.
Those are
Now we're all
the
doomed.
organs on the fritz.
Oh no! We've walked into killer music in 1987
Sounds
for some
like
reason.
somebody like broken calliope music.
Oh great! It's the new Mr. Bungle album.
Nice.
It's the worst carnival ever.
Damn.
I betrayed my own kind, and it hurts.
That was for the bit though.
It does.
That was. See, I knew this shit. Giant sharks. He's got fucking abs, just like the baby Jesus.
That's
He's
a
got the
ripped
fucking
shark.
like the tattoos. This is terrifying. This, you know what? This is reminding me a lot of the Stronsay Beast. You guys ever hear about the Stronsay Beast?
No, what is it?
No.
It's like
Is this really the time
it's
for a
like the
story? We're about to
Beyonce
get eaten
Beast.
by a giant shark.
Well,
You
it's
gotta
the
tell a
perfect
fucking story.
I want to, send us off. Like we'll die as we live. You know?
Wait a minute. Kaz, are we in imminent danger of being eaten by this Stronsay
yes.
Beast?
Not probably not the Stronsay Beast. Definitely not the Stronsay Beast. Whatever's careening towards us right now is not that, but reminds me of that.
So you think we have time for a story?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I would
that's fine.
love, please.
Settle in.
Let me know.
If you
Settle
don't,
up.
if you don't mind, please.
Just one last time for you guys.
Hashtag Stronsay Beast. How do you spell that?
STRONSEYBEAST.
I didn't see that last part coming. I did not. See
No.
that.
No.
That is odd.
So it's Scottish. It's probably like Stronsay Beast.
No longer a
That's your Scottish
What?
accent.
Stronsay Beast.
No, it was perfect. It was
Tight,
great.
man.
No.
It's tight.
The shores of Stronsay
No.
on the Orkney Islands in Scotland, which, I don't know, it's, off of Scotland.
I feel like it would be like roll your R. Like think how Sir Patrick Stewart would do it. Like Stronsay.
That sounds Russian
Wait,
almost.
hold on. Wait,
Do it again.
Angela, do
Give it
that
to
What
again.
is it
That
called
was
again?
fucking awesome.
Stronsay.
Gotta
There you go.
Stronsay.
Oh, there you go.
Like,
We are
how would
offending
Picard
all of our
say
Scottish
it? How would he do it?
This particular beast was found washed on the shore of Stronsay and Orkney in the Orkney Islands of Scotland on September 25th, 1808. So it's unlikely that this thing is the same thing.
Real.
But it was at the time caused commotion. It was like this unknown creature washed up on the shore, and the people, the small fishing village kind of area, people were unnerved by this seemingly giant like sea serpent thing that washed up on their shores. So I'm quoting from the Vintage News, an article about the Stronsay Beast. You can look it up. On the morning of September 25th, 1808, a local fisherman named
1808?
1808.
A
Year of our
while
Lord.
ago.
A local fisherman called John Peace was fishing just off the coast at Rothyslum.
Couldn't spell it. I hate to do that to you, but
Shalom.
Other countries don't know how to name things
Rothy
right. Have
Shalom.
you noticed that? Other countries just don't know how to name stuff right.
like hello vowels.
Yeah, they put all these weird letters together that don't go together. Get it right, other countries.
It was off the coast of Rothyshallum Head. Spelled
word.
Rothy and then Shalom. In the southeast,
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
in the
Just two
southeast of the
characters.
island of
It's just two
Stronsay.
giant Scottish characters.
When he looked at the shore, he noticed some seabirds gathering around what appeared to be an animal carcass lying on the rocks.
Seabirds.
Seabirds. The birds that were near him.
Seabirds.
Why is that oddly funny?
Seabirds.
I don't know. It's good. I mean, it
Seabirds
is.
are a normal
Like
thing.
seagulls, like you would say, but like.
But maybe they were
Seabirds.
seagulls. They give it
Different.
albatrosses,
All
you know?
right,
What are the ones with
waterfowl.
Pelicans.
I was just thinking.
Those could be fresh or salt.
I was just thinking.
It's a
like,
very specific article.
He's like,
I
Seabirds.
see seabirds over there on that animal carcass
Seabirds
washed up
were
on the rocks.
reported.
John was intrigued. He rowed his boat closer to the shore. George Shearer, another local, was also present in the vicinity and observed him. When he was close enough, Peace saw the remains of something that he had never encountered before. The animal was big, with a serpent-like body, long neck, and 3 pairs of legs. Pairs of legs. This was the first one in a series of similar beastly carcasses found on the shores
Carcae?
of
Carcae.
carcasses.
Carcasses? Carson Daly.
well, I mean, it would.
So this was the first one in a series of similar beastly creatures found on Stronsay. So multiple weird things wash up on this place. It might, ocean currents. Things are taking, gross carcasses to this beach. So the carcass that John found was in a place that was hard to reach because of the rocks and the waves, etc. But about 10 days later, the high tide and winds brought it actually to the shore. At this time, George Shearer, the other animal carcass seabird watcher guy out there.
Yeah. Seabird.
Animal carcass seabird watcher. Very specific hobby.
So these 2 guys walk up to the big, strange carcass thing, along with 3 other men. They studied the creature in detail. They took measurements, etc.
They poked it with a stick.
Right.
That's
1808
the first
measurements.
thing they did.
Yeah. I
mean,
the
you have
first
to.
thing, so it's good. Give me a
Always
stick.
do that.
Hand me my science
Right, exactly.
stick.
What are you gonna walk up and just like smush its cheeks? No, you're gonna. Not.
It's a sea monster who's a
Well, let me wait. Hold on. Let me rub its belly, and because
See if you get one of those 3 legs going.
3 other men joined in the examination of the sea monster. So it was like, a motley crew of Scottish gentlemen in 1808 checking out this sea monster.
Poking.
Just poking away.
They met. So no, they actually did some science here. They took measurements. It was 55 feet long. The neck alone was 10.3 feet long. Perfect. Part of the tail was missing, so this 55 feet does not include what would have been the tail.
Damn.
maybe it was like pecked at by predators or
So
scavengers.
correct. This is
Maybe it can
Seabirds.
drop its tail like a lizard.
Seabirds tore it apart.
Vicious
It
seabird.
was about 4 feet wide and at a circumference of about 10 feet.
That's a big fucker.
That's what scares me Daddy the most. I've realized over the years. He's like, I don't care how long it is, but if it's wide,
It's all about girth.
Afraid of the girth.
Girthophobia.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay.
God.
So George, while they were examining it, George noticed that the head of this thing was similar to a sheep's head and had eyes bigger than a seal. So again, we've got the measurements of Scottish, 1808.
55
They were
Head
drunk.
like a sheep's head,
Yeah.
eyes bigger than a seal's, like smaller than,
The
whatever.
only animals they've
A
ever
horse.
seen. Yeah,
Right.
they're just comparing it
Smaller
to
than a
just
horse, bigger than a seal, bigger than my eyes.
The only
Taller than
animals
Bobby.
on their island.
But also 4 feet wide.
The color
That's crazy, right?
and 10 feet around,
Yeah.
which is it's a girthy
Girthy
creature.
beast.
Wow.
It's a girthy beast.
The color of its skin was gray and rough to the touch.
Like a sharky.
The creature had 6 limbs resembling paws or wings,
Not like a spider.
and bristly long hair was growing from its shoulders all the way to its tail. The bristles glowed in the dark when they were wet,
What?
and the insides of the beast were red.
That's an alien. That's not a monster. That's an alien.
By the end of September, the news about the sea monster from Stronsay had spread across the country. News reporters who were interested about the creature came to take statements from witnesses. With no means to keep the remains fresh, all that was left of the beast had rotted away. To verify the truthfulness of their story, witnesses were taken to Kirkwall, the capital of the Orkneys, where they had to swear an oath to the magistrate. So this was like such a big deal that like dudes who said they saw it had to go like stand in front of like a judge. Like, what, dude, did it really have fucking hair that glowed in the dark? Are you serious? Like, for real? I'll send you to jail if we find out it wasn't a thing.
Was there any bioluminescent phytoplankton?
I don't think they exist
This
in
guy.
that region. No, I don't think
What
they
kind of
exist
a
in that
question
region.
is
no.
that?
This guy over here. You got time to work on this shit, or just do it?
I'm sorry.
It's off the dome. That was just like...
Are journalists
They
just
had
going to
bio-
give up now?
They had
or-
bioluminescent stuff.
The fur was bioluminescent.
The fur said it glowed in the dark, but I don't know if it was due to
It had glow in the dark shoulder hair,
phytoplankton or
which
not.
is scary.
Well, it could have had like
Could have
things
had
living in its
Could have
hair.
been phytoplankton. That's like
Yes.
not a...
Possible, I guess. They didn't test for phytoplankton back in the 1700s.
But there
or
are
whatever.
literally only 2 places in the world that have that:
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach and Puerto Rico.
And you've been to one of those places, right?
Yes.
Look at that. Of course you have.
It was in Myrtle Beach,
Of course
right?
you have.
No, they have it. Is that on Merritt Island too?
Merritt Island,
Merritt
that's right.
Island.
It's not
Yeah,
Myrtle Beach.
I know
Fuck
what you
that.
meant.
So there's
but
3
yeah.
places.
No, not in Myrtle Beach.
not
I know what
Myrtle
he
Beach.
meant. It was Merritt
Merritt
Island.
Island.
Yes.
There's a bit difference. There's a distance between Myrtle Beach. And
At the M and
What
the
are you,
T.
the fucking
M and the T and the
bioluminescent
beach.
fucking...
no,
I got
actually,
him.
Fritz's.
I just want to say this. Any creature that has evolved to light its own body on fire, like deep sea creatures or even just like
The angler
June
fish.
bugs, fuck that shit. That's the devil's work. Anyone who can light itself up like a light bulb like that
Fuck
is
that with octopuses and octopi and
Octopi.
That's
octopi
crazy.
and cuttlefish can do.
Octopod.
Octopi.
Cuttlefish are, those are Cthulhu, man.
Yes.
Cuttlefish are vicious.
They're out of
With
this
their little
earth.
beaks.
They're
Yeah.
aliens. The way
Yeah.
they can just pulse with color.
Yeah,
and
did you
it
see the
just-
one where it was dreaming? Did we already talk about that?
Yeah.
That shit was tight.
Insane.
cuddle time.
In November 1808, the information about the beast came to the Natural History Society, or the Wernerian Society of Edinburgh. After reading all the gathered information, they decided that it didn't fit any known species that they had documented. They finally decided to record it as a new species, probably in the family of sea serpents. Scottish anatomist John Barclay named it
He played for the Suns.
Halsidrus pontipidani.
Once again, people don't know how to name stuff. Why name it Fred or something?
Fred the sea snake.
Fred the sea snake. There you go. We can say that.
Halsidrus pontopidani.
That's just rude to name something.
Oh, it was after someone named Pontopidian's sea snake. So it was like a fictitious.
There's a guy named, his last name was Sea Snake.
Pontopidian.
Pontopidian?
No, it's his
Pontopidian
sea snake.
You can't prove me wrong. You can't.
So they got all the measurements. They sent it to the National Historical Society. They come back and say, no, we don't know what the fuck this is. This is nothing. We're making a new thing for this. So they make a new thing. Hadrulus pontipidani, and then
Which sounds crazy.
only later, which is an interesting bit of revisionist history that happens, the anatomist Sir Everard Home revisited the case,
Yeah, good name.
suspected the measurements of the beast, and declared that it must have been around 36 feet instead of 55 feet.
What?
And that it must have been only about 36 feet and about half the size around.
Was it bloated?
He recognized it as a decaying basking shark.
Oh my
According
god!
to
okay.
Home, basking sharks can look like strange Jurassic creatures while they're decaying. Another scientist named Professor John Goodsir, who has the fakest fucking name of all
Yeah.
time.
Hello, I'm
John Goodsir, and I'm here to review your, technical measurements of the sea beast.
What did his family do in the past? They were just good?
Good sir.
Good sir.
It just like the fucking, just like a butler or something, like a Jeeves.
Their actual name at like Ellis Island was like, your last name is Turd Suck, and they're like, no, the opposite of that. Good sir, it is.
That's the absolute opposite of
Welcome
Turkey.
to America, Johnny Goodsir. Basically, this guy came in 1849 and corroborated it. So we're talking, 31 years later? 41 years later?
Mm-hmm. Seems about right.
Yeah. So men on the beach take measurements, record that it has this weird a sea snake has this weird fur all over it. It's got these little flappy wings.
Yeah, why would a basking shark wouldn't have
Flappy wings.
or fur? It might have. You could say it's like
maybe,
dorsal fins, or whatever.
maybe pieces rotted away and it made it look like something or
Yeah.
whatever. But
So
the fur was the weird part, and the fact that it was recorded to be 10 feet around.
Yeah,
Yeah, 10
Which-
feet around, 4 feet wide.
big ass basking shark.
I looked it up. The longest recorded basking shark ever seen was 40 feet long, 15 feet smaller than the Stronsay Beast without its tail.
Oh,
Yeah.
So this is, to me, something that's a lot larger. And then the only reason that we're calling it a decaying basking shark is because 40-something years later, a dude with a fake-ass name comes around and says that, like, it's not, oh, no, you must have gotten it wrong. It's a basking shark. There were, dudes on the beach. We don't trust the denizens of Stronsay to
was this
take
guy
an
wearing
appropriate
all
measurement.
black with a little thing that he shot
Exactly.
that made people,
They were trying to go back and like wipe out the
It was
fact
Will
that we
Smith.
had
It was Will
glowing,
Smith.
hairy, sea serpent-y shit. So
This basking shark, right? You said that the largest basking shark came in at 40 feet long?
correct.
And this thing kind of looked to the point where it had
A piece of it.
scales or...
Well, it had like rough kind of sharky skin, but it was serpentine in shape. Had sort of almost, the drawings make it look kind of like a plesiosaur, like very big,
Yeah.
with the little wing, the flappy wings,
little flappies.
and then no tail, right? So who knows how long the tail was? So we've got a
Right.
55-foot long, which is 15 foot longer than the biggest recorded one that's ever been seen. And a guy comes in again 40 years later after the thing's gone and says, "Oh no, it must have been a basking shark," which to me seems a little. And his name again, John Goodsir. That sounds fake.
Yeah,
like to
come
me,
on.
like I'm not. I
Don't blame
don't
it.
buy
Don't
that for
blame
a
it.
second.
Don't believe the hype.
They were trying to like erase. There was like some weird like peace dragon shit going on in Scotland, and then like the thing died and it got washed up on the beach, and now we don't get to know about it. But
It's definitely related to the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, I was about to
Ness?
say that.
Yeah, it's definitely Nessie. Nessie cousin.
I can see that.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like
Right,
Nessie
the same
cousin.
shape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Nessie.
Do you
Solved.
think Nessie's dead? So then they
No, Nessie's dead.
I mean,
No.
I think Nessie is a tulpa, and it's going to live forever, just like Prince and John
I
Lennon
wish
will.
that I had Nessie's gun.
Wow.
Jesse Springfield isn't dead, right?
Nessie
Or,
Springfield.
Rick Springfield.
Jesse Springfield. He's not
Just his
singing
girl,
about
right?
Is it the guy
himself.
from Full House?
I wish I had Jesse's girl, but I'm Jesse Springfield, so it's my girl.
Hey, I believe in non-binary
That's just meta,
units
exactly.
now. Okay, come on.
So anyway, I'm glad I got to share that story with you guys before this
Me too.
giant, hideous, horrifying, roaring shark beast eats us and sends us to the great beyond. But again, I wouldn't have wanted to do it with a different group of delightfully talented people.
I respect that about you so much. Thank you
If
so
it's-
much.
If you're ever going to die in the briny deep, might as well be while you're laughing. I always thought to myself, how would you like to die? And I always thought, in the future, in a bathysphere, being eaten by a giant shark.
I imagine that we'll just go in kind of almost like Pinocchio style.
Like Jonah?
We're just going to go straight in.
Right in? Yeah.
Unless he gets us with the teeth. When
Yeah.
we're
Ooh, that's not, I don't want to see that. I'd
No.
rather just go down
So-
because we could maybe
Yeah.
hang out in there until we get digested.
Well,
so we're actually dying right now, possibly.
Possibly, but so
That's weird.
Nice to know you guys.
I actually
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what's going to happen because they're so far in the future. Do I come back? Like, what?
How does that work?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you're supposed to look at it as like you were never even really you. You're part of the collective, so it doesn't matter if the you dies.
Can I be honest?
The other
Like a
animals
hive
move
thing?
on.
Oh,
I never
all right.
understood
So
that.
you have to just be okay with that.
Okay.
But
Fine.
No,
Here we
that's
go.
it. I guess, it was fun doing the podcast as long as it
Wrap
was,
it up. We'll do like a
really looking
stage
forward to another
freeze.
season. I guess this is it, So So
Can we do like the stage bow where we all like grab hands and we bow together?
yeah, but I guess we could do that, but
sure.
Is it
it's a
appropriate for
podcast,
this?
so no one
Yeah.
will see it. You
You know
know.
what would be awesome? A couple pizzas. Get some Tostones going.
Yeah, let's do that.
What is that?
Oh, okay.
What's happening?
Whoa!
Trying to- wait.
This feels different. This
Where
is
are
not
the
the shark
controls?
happening. This is
Okay.
something else.
Whoa.
We're being pulled up.
Wait.
Whoa!
I have the controls.
Something's got a hold of us.
All right.
Oh, look at that.
Fight.
I can see
Everyone
suckers.
hold on to
That
something.
Big weird
Hold on to
suckers.
something.
It's got suckers on
Suckers.
it.
It's a
Sucking
big
things.
tentacle.
Wait,
It's
we're
a
getting
tentacle.
pulled up. We're getting pulled up.
Oh my God! Here we go. I hope we don't get the pins.
Up.
We're gonna die either way.
Be careful.
Oh! Ah! No, my colon.
Oh God!
Look at that.
What the fuck? That was fantastic. Oh God! I think we're safe. Are you okay, man? That was a weird sound.
Yeah, something happened over there. Did you go through a change or something? Or do you need to change something?
My head hurts. It's funny.
Yeah, I think you might.
Oh,
Well, the
my
fucking
God.
pod's cracked. It's slowly leaking.
Oh.
I
Can
mean, at
we-
least we're on the surface and not dead and away from the Meg or whatever
That
down
was
there.
intense.
My head hurts so
Oh
bad.
my God.
So Robo.
Hey, you bozos.
Oh Jesus
Oh.
Christ! I thought we turned it off.
Come in, bozos. Bozos, oh, you're there. Come in.
Yes,
Hey,
we're
Angela.
sorry. But she doesn't never say bozo.
I'm just trying to come up with something new for you idiots. Anyway, great, so you're still alive.
Yeah.
You didn't get eaten by a giant shark, I said, or anything, so good to see you made it out. Good to see you made it out. Like your thrusters, those things that make you go forward.
Yep.
Those
Yeah.
like really expensive things I added to that so you can move around.
Yep.
Totally dead. Totally dead. I was hoping you guys were going to be when you got eaten by a shark. I
This
said
is
you
the
know
problem.
well.
Murderous
You
robots.
guys are now basically in the world's most expensive buoy. Congratulations. Well, you guys need to take a break. You need to figure out what you're doing. I'm gonna have a drink, because I am absolutely sick of listening to you guys. This is Fort Fritz.
Welcome back to Fort Fritz. We have reached the surface here, and Robo Angela's being a bitch, so I'm just going to take the lead and open the hatch and see what's going on.
Agreed. All right.
Yeah?
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Right.
Let's do it. I
Yeah.
mean, well, what else are we gonna do?
What else could go wrong?
Yep.
So, all right, pop. So.
And turn this way. Up there it goes.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, that's not as bright. That's this.
Oh.
It's actually.
Oh,
you
it
would say
smells
it's nice,
horrible.
but it smells god awful.
It's really bad. This is like it's like something died and then came to life and then died again. It shit itself.
It sounded like the caw of a mutated
Was that the
seagull.
sound of the seagull?
That was the sound of a I know that sound well. That's a goddamn mutation.
Totally.
Oh, my
like
It's
it.
coming back. It's getting
Oh, we're
closer.
doomed. We're
My
doomed.
hat! My hat!
If that could happen to a poor seagull, that poor seabird, that poor seabird.
Its eyes are definitely bigger than a seal's, for
My
sure.
hat is not your nest, seagull.
Whoa!
Fuck is that?
That
Oh my
was
god.
crazy.
Why is he doing that?
Is there like a whale breaching
Yes.
or something?
It's a whale with suctions on its
Call
bottom
911.
belly.
Oh my God.
There's no 911. If we
About-
get Robo Angel on the phone, she's just gonna snark at us.
This is true.
This is really, really bad.
It's like a big, it's a tentacle or like some type of.
Is that the
serpent?
thing? Is that what got us out? Is
It
that what
looks
got
like
us
it's
out?
got the suckers.
Yes.
It's got something in it though. What is that?
Oh, it's the big. That's the big.
That's the shark.
He's got the shark. Oh, the tentacles got the shark. Oh, this is like Megalodon versus giant octopus. This is so freaking cool.
Wow.
I can't believe we get to see this in real time.
Biblical.
Oh,
What's
you're
it
just
doing?
really
Oh.
fucking
Wow.
that shark up, man.
This is terrifying. This is actually kind of
painful to
gruesome.
watch.
This is grisly. It
Even though I hated that shark, it didn't deserve. Oh, it totally deserved that.
totally
yeah.
deserved. It would have done worse to us.
Yes.
That was bad.
Jesus.
Oh,
It's-
oh
You know-
God. Oh,
What happened to
God. Oh, there's lunch. There's lunch.
What did you
really
eat?
shouldn't have had that sushi.
What have you had to eat? We haven't had anything.
King cuttlefish.
I mean, even though that thing tried to kill us, that was pretty horrific.
Yeah,
was
that's a
horrific.
bad way to go out, man.
They like
That
just threw him off like that too. What the
I just
fuck?
ripped
Ugh.
him into shreds.
I would agree.
Do you see this? Something's drifting into view here.
What the hell is that? Oh my God! Oh my god!
That looks like a nice, like
It's a nice boat right
look at
there.
that.
What do they call that? A
Yeah.
catamaran?
It's a schooner. Is it a schooner?
Nice. What else we got?
It looks like it's got fenders, fenders like, the old tires, like, so we can kind of like bump up next
Like
to
a
it and like
tugboat.
have a
Like
little
a
party
tugboat.
boat.
Little party tugboat.
Got to gunnel up.
Got a what?
Damn.
What's
Nice.
the C term? What's the C term for? Guys, I'm trying to contact
Starboard.
this boat. What else?
Port.
Square rigging.
Mizzen mast.
Stern.
Poop deck. Poop deck. Poop deck. Poop deck. Poop deck.
What do you got in your poop
Mizzen
deck over
poop.
there?
Tell it to hoist something.
Hoist the poop. Hoist the poop.
Mister, hoist.
Poop hoister.
What do you...
What is... yeah, nothing's going on.
I don't think anyone's on there. Ahoy!
Hello, boaty guys.
It looks like a nice boat. There's stuff on it.
I say
That's
we
very clean.
let's take the boat. Let's take the boat. I mean, it's maybe.
Hold on,
You
guys.
guys got to be careful.
Fuck, that's
Hold
ridiculous.
on. Why would there be a boat with fenders, meaning they would want some kind of contact out there?
Oh, it's just protection.
But-
Just being safe.
But no one is calling out to us.
You're right.
Does no one think this is odd?
It is
at
odd.
all?
That's a
Kinda
gift.
creepy.
Less odd than
why
the
look-
last two things that
Why
happened.
look a gift schooner in the
Schooner.
bow
In the
bow
port?
Oh, that's kind of good.
Whatever just saved us, killed that giant freaking shark, brought us a boat, and here we are questioning it. That's really kind of rude of us.
Yeah.
I don't think it gave us this boat.
Something's going on.
You think it's like a trap?
Could be a trap.
Feels very fishy.
But
Damn.
Really.
I
I feel very at sea about this.
God damn it, Angela.
Wow, you really had to
that was
pull
a
a baker to find that one.
Jesus
Christ. I have no game when it comes to puns. And,
Your pun game
and I
is
hate
weak.
it. I hate it. Have you guys heard about, no pun intended, Kaz II?
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah, Kaz II. It's a ghost.
There's another one of this guy? That's the most terrifying story we've
There's
ever
two
told
of
on the
me?
show.
That's
No.
my thing.
Oh my god. Rude.
This is not an actual Kaz II. Okay, this is
Kaz
not,
2, this
no,
time it's personal.
No, this is not a Kaz 2.
Kaz 2, Electric Boogaloo.
This is not a
Yes!
Yep, that's it.
Kaz. It's not a Kaz Boogaloo 2.0. It's nothing like that. It's a vessel. It's a yacht. A man with a last name of Batten. So Batten is a nautical term for what?
Batten down the hatches.
I don't know,
Yeah,
honestly.
you tie them down. You batten them down.
I have no idea. Derek Batten was 56 years old. When he bought
I worked at
Kaz,
Pirates for 13 years. I should know one or two things.
Fair enough.
when he bought Kaz 2 from an acquaintance, I guess, and decided he was going to live off of the nautical dreams of his youth, and he bought Kaz 2, which was a 9.8 meter catamaran.
Okay.
It was a catamaran.
A catamaran is kind of like, it's a schooner, but I don't know
Pontoon
of what.
boat.
Yeah, it's a multi-hull
kind
water.
Thing that
of
has the
like
two
a-
ones?
Double pontoon.
It's like a pontoon boat mixed with a sailboat, kind of, because you have like little netting in between three different holes,
Netting.
and there's like nets in between them. Yeah.
That is absolutely correct. It's a multi-hulled watercraft featuring two parallel hulls of equal size. And it's a geometry stabilized craft.
I went on one in Key West
That's
that took
right.
you out to go snorkeling, and then on the way back it was all you could drink.
Yeah.
It was
Just
awesome.
on the way back, though?
Yeah, just on the way back.
I
It's
love the
'cause They
keys.
can't have you snorkeling
That makes
drunk.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
Great.
it was like dive in, swim around for like 5 minutes, and like, all right, let's drink.
So what year was this? The Kaz 2?
The Kaz 2 happened in 2007.
Ooh,
That's when they
this is
found
a
it?
recent one.
Kaz 2 was first missing in April 2007.
Okay.
And Derek Batten, who was 56 at the time, bought Kaz 2. He was not in the best of shape. He was on high cholesterol medication. He had suffered a heart attack when he was 50 in 2001, this being 2007. He decided to ask his neighbors, the Tunsteads, if they would go with him on
Their name Tungsten?
on
Tunstead.
a trip Tunstead. If they would go with him on a trip to a portion of Australia, a key. So it would take just maybe a couple hours. But because his neighbors were retired, they decided it doesn't really matter how long it takes. As long as we get there, everything's going to be fine and dandy.
That should be life in retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go in there.
We're going to go to an island in Australia.
Just go there.
All right.
the Kaz II departed Airlie Beach on April 15th, 2007, and it was headed for Queensland on like the first leg, and then it was just, it was going to wrap around. But then on April 18th, so 3 days later, it was found just adrift in the Great Barrier Reef.
3 days later?
Yep.
What can happen in 3 days?
Somebody actually saw it and approached at a distance, but, didn't engage further. But they did say, quote, what they found was a bit strange in that everything was normal. There was just no sign of the crew.
That's not normal.
Well, because that boater got close to it, he said, I have one rule, and that's never interfere with another vessel if you don't have to. Nope, I'm not messing with them. They're not messing with me. I'm going on.
He's the anti-pirate.
Yep.
Fair enough.
So this crew of Batten and the two Tunsteads, by the way, Batten was 56, Peter Tunstead was 69 years old, and James Tunstead was 63 years old. So these were people who were not in the prime of their life. Right?
Out there.
When the boat was found, and they actually had someone lowered from a helicopter.
Ooh.
To see what this situation was.
Someone just don't climb on the boat. Let's bring out an entire freaking helicopter and lower a guy in a butt bucket instead of just hopping on the damn boat.
Just in case there's some crazy crap, that you just get the hell out of there.
There's the fun. You jump off into the ocean. You got nothing but water.
This sharks. Australia's full of sharks.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So this guy was delivered to the boat via helicopter, and he said it was one of the most stressful, frightening situations in his entire life because he didn't know if anyone was going to jump out at him. This is what he saw.
Wow, that sounds like a terrifying video game. You're just being lowered.
They're going to jump on me in this boat.
He revealed that the boat was in serviceable condition and was laid out as if the crew were still on board because food and flatware were set up on the tables. A laptop computer was still set up, plugged in, turned on, and the engine of the boat was still idling. He saw knives out as people were just preparing food, and that's when it hit him that at any moment he could be stabbed and could bleed out with no backup because this helicopter pretty much dropped him on.
Be like, Helicopter Jerry, can you just hover for a bit?
Yep.
Maybe leave Helicopter Jerry.
Leave the bucket there so I can jump back into it in case a murderous ghost or whatever.
No, we're out here, Bob. We're out here, Bob.
We got to go back. No
Good
fuel.
luck.
Unfortunately, there was no one left on the boat. And there are some really, really wacky things with this entire setup. So one of the Tunstead brothers had brought a video camera on board. So they were filming themselves having fun on this boat, right?
Found footage.
Yep. But before that, the original owner of Kaz II came over and was helping them with their route. A massive storm came in, and they were off put. So they were like, it's okay, now we're like a week behind. We're going to go out now. And then when they went out, they were immediately delayed. 2 hours later, they came back in. Their GPS wasn't working. So they don't even know how to use the fucking GPS.
Right.
The original owner shows them again, and then they go out. But at this point, the two Tunstead brothers who were retired were like, I don't care if we ever get back. Let's just go have fun, right?
Just into the ocean. Nothing bad's ever happened when people just go off willy-nilly into the ocean. Nothing bad has ever come of it. It's always a good time.
Well, when the boat was found 3 days later, the original owner of the Kaz II was subpoenaed to testify and said, I met with them the day before they left. They seemed completely coherent. They seemed with it. They were logical. And they had a clear set course that I came up with for them. When I heard that their boat was drifting out at this location, I thought, this is really, really odd. So the original owner of the boat was cleared. There was no sign that they would be suicidal in any way. There was no sign that they would have covered up their own deaths. There was no sign that these 3 people unconnected to one another outside of being close vicinity neighbors would have planned any kind of ulterior motive.
So they were never found?
Never.
Wow.
They found that they still had fenders, which again are those like big tires or big buoys that ships drop out. They did have those fenders. Small craft regularly keep those on and do not take them off. So that was immediately one of those like non-issue kind of things. Here's the thing that gets really wacky. One of the Tunstead brothers, which again was Batten's neighbors, they were filming the entire time. So when the police get onto this vessel, they find all of this home footage. They show the last day's footage. The captain, Batten, has a hat, glasses, and a shirt. And he is waving
No pants.
to the camera.
Really Daffy Ducking it.
I'm captaining in a boat, a catamaran across the Australian Ocean or Australian Sea or whatever. I'm definitely doing it in a budgie smuggler.
So the last footage showed, and this was filmed by James Tunstead on April 15th, 10:05 a.m., the day that they all disappeared. Batten, the owner of the boat, was at the helm. Peter Tunstead, who is at this time 69. Peter is sitting on the aft stairway of the boat, so he is fishing. A long white rope can be seen trailing behind the boat. The engine is not running. Fenders, again, tires, can be seen hanging from safety rails on both sides of the boat. The camera is panned 360 degrees, and that's how investigators helped pinpoint exactly where they were. The sea, however, is choppy, and none of the men are wearing life jackets. Tunstead's shirt and glasses are not in the place where they were later found.
Dun, dun, dun.
That is one of the most fascinating aspects
So
of
he
this
took
story.
his shirt and glasses off at some point and put them
I
somewhere?
don't want to die in my shirt and glasses.
So, obviously they're looking for these people after a couple of days. They go, it's not going to happen. The search was called off April 25th. So they went out April 15th. April 25th, they're like 10 days later. Nah, fuck it. There's no way in hell.
A bunch of old people in the sea.
Yeah.
So when they started asking who saw what, a couple of things happened. So somebody contacted a wife from the boat on a marina so they could have some kind of radio communication. And although Batten was taking medications for high cholesterol, mild diabetes, and had suffered a heart attack at age 50, he was believed to be strong and well enough and fit for this journey. So everyone thought that they could handle it. Well, what happens is this ship is a ghost ship. No one is on this fucking boat when people land on it.
This ship, becoming like a ghost ship.
So, well, damn. All right. So we can assume that the people who own this boat no longer.
But I mean, that
are
just
here.
means it doesn't mean the boat's cursed or anything. It
Just means some old guys got washed off
Yeah.
it, and we can hop on.
I wonder if the laptop had like Netflix open and it said, "Are you still watching The Office, or have you mysteriously disappeared?"
Have you been washed off the boat without your shirt and glasses?
Well, there's one.
That's the worst part.
The line that was trailing behind this boat was actually found tied up. So somebody like reeled it in.
All right.
The shirt and glasses were found like neatly folded. They had laundry hanging up. And the prevailing theory, and it's as sad and like not mysterious as this, someone was fishing because they had evidence of that. That fishing pole was then put up, so they probably had a line that was snagged. They were thrown over because the engine was not on. They had a strong sail, choppy winds. The ship is now immediately sailing away from this person, right? In a strong wind.
Wow.
In their 60s. The captain then goes
Quickly folds his shirt.
Folds his shirt, takes his glasses off.
That person who was filming was on the side. It's called like a sugar deck, which is like partially submerged
The opposite of the
underwater.
poop deck.
So you could, sit in the water, I guess,
Yeah.
So they were on that. So if they were knocked overboard, then the captain would have gone back to the engine, made sure it was off, and then would have to close the sails, which could create a like jib situation where a strong wind, because it was in really choppy seas, could have knocked that third person off, which the wind could have controlled onward. And because they were not very good swimmers, they could have all drowned just immediately.
The moral of the story is don't go on catamarans if you're
old people.
Yeah, if you're over the age of 50.
All right, so we're all relatively fit, young people. We can probably handle this shit. We can.
No, I'm in the prime of my life.
Can you handle a jib?
No.
You're gonna get jibbed right off this thing.
Yeah.
It's like a jib right to the face. You are.
I can stay low. Look at me.
Look at him. Oh, he's like a crab.
It's like those old. Who's it? Errol Flynn, the guy who jumped around
Check
all
that.
over and shit.
Nope,
Yeah,
just did that thing.
The old guy that jumped around and shit.
Climbing up here now.
Well, she seems seaworthy, right?
She's in good condition.
Regardless of the.
We're all assuming this boat's gender, and I think it's rude.
All boats are she's, sir.
Yeah, all cars and boats are always women.
I think boats should be allowed to identify how they feel inside.
Well, when the boat can communicate its preference for identification, then we will listen to it. But
right.
for now, I dub thee Sally 4.
Okay.
Let's get to the. What is it? The space elevator? Just fuck it up.
Yeah, but I mean, now we just got to take this boat there. Who knows? I mean, obviously you're not the best captain over here.
Maybe does regular Angela know where to go?
I have no idea.
Okay, so we're going to need regular Angela.
I lost all hope.
Idiots. Come in, idiots. Did you find the boat?
I'm not doing
Did you
anything
find the boat?
Yes, we found the
How
boat.
did you get the boat?
It seemed to
Well,
drift
you
up.
guys-
You think it just drifted there?
Yeah, it looks like it's a ghost ship. That's what they do. They drift
You
into
didn't
the...
see the giant freaking tentacles?
We did see that earlier. That was the boat also the tentacle?
Yes.
I did not.
What?
Does the name Folly Johns mean anything to you bozos?
Oh, of course.
That would explain the
even
hideous
in the
smell.
future, Folly Johns is still saving your ass.
That's nice.
You guys can't get it together even in the future without having a giant tentacled beast pulling you out of every rough situation. Well done, guys.
This sounds like a great future.
Yeah, exactly. It's the kind I want to participate in.
Well, you guys got the boat. Now you can go to the damn space elevator and electrify the ocean or whatever. I don't care anymore. You guys bore me. I'm out.
All right, well, so we don't got to worry about her anymore.
She is one rude bitch.
She's just so salty all the time for no
Very
reason.
salty robot.
Robo Angela just turned around and just turned itself off. Like,
Yep. Done.
it's still right there.
That's how robots nap.
Nowhere.
Wow. What are we going to do now?
We're going to hop on the boat.
We're going to take
getting
the
on
boat.
the boat.
We're going to get the boat.
We're going to go to the space elevator.
Yep.
We're going to electrify everything,
And
and
this is-
then we're going to get back.
This is still a thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We have.
Why not?
What
We got
other
a
choice
mission.
do we have?
Exactly.
That's all we have.
That's
We
what
got
we're
a
told
boat.
to
We
do.
know there's a space elevator. We need to electrify the ocean, so I guess that's what we got to do.
Sally Forth.
Somehow electrifying the ocean is going to get us back to our time period. I don't know how, but I guess we got to do it.
Math.
Sally Forth.
Chemicals.
Sally Forth on the Sally Forth.
All right, guys, let's get out of here.
Okay.
All right. Heading out. Thank you for listening to Fort Fritz. You can check us out on Stitcher and Spreaker and YouTube and iTunes and, most importantly, iHeartRadio. And you can also check us out on Instagram at Fort Fritz, Twitter at Fort Fritz MCT, and also send us an email, fortfritz@yahoo.com. We are going to try to get back to 2018 with this space elevator to electrify everything. So we're going to head back to 2018 so we can do our Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Live.
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 Air,
If
baby.
we get back to the correct timeline.
Yes, Real Radio 104.1 at 11 p.m. on Halloween.
That's amazing.
That's you need to check it out. You need to check it out.
I'm giddy.
yeah.
I'm giddy with
Can't wait.
excitement.
I'm a giddy kitty.
Let's go to this space elevator. Come on.
Let's sing a good old fashioned sea chanty to boost our morale as we go towards the space elevator to electrify the ocean for some reason. We're in the future and we're trying not to die. Hey, trying not to die. Hey, trying not to die. Well, we're in the future and we're trying not to die. Hey, trying not to die. Hey, trying not to die. Hey, you're in the past and you're still so alive. Hey, still so
gonna
alive.
die.
Hey, now
We're
you're gonna
gonna
die.
die.
We're gonna die. Hey, we're gonna die. Hey, we're gonna die.
Can we get a less morbid sea
we're
shanty?
Loving an elevator.
No, that's even worse. Never mind.
Yeah, I'd rather die.
Look at that mutated seabird.
Pretty enough. God. Its native call is so soothing to me.